Yeah, that is fine.
Awesome.
Um,
Actually, this is the marketing website. Did Ellen send you a URL to log in to?
yeah, let's yeah, here. Mm, mm, okay. All right. Mm, oh, okay. This is weird. That okay. Well, I don't know why I can't remember. Okay, my password. Let me reset it.
No problem.
Sorry for all of the crazy. All right. Okay. Oh no. Okay. Oh my god. Why is this not? I literally just reset it.
Hmm?
So why is it not letting me log in?
Oh, is the new password not working?
No.
Hmm. That's odd.
Wait. Yeah. J log at MLC dot org.
Is it using? Are you using the email address that it was sent to?
Oh wait, maybe I only need to use. Do you not use your full email? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. It was the full email.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, you're
Oh,
in.
go ahead. Okay.
So you've looked at this before, right? You've been in here.
So yeah. So actually, to give you a little bit of background, so I was really excited about this product because, well, first of all, our school is switching to a new math curriculum next year. So uh, we're like currently in the process of looking at different types of curriculum, as well as we are moving towards one-to-one with all of our students.
Okay.
Um, but we also have a math intervention that I teach. It's Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, where we kind of design our entire curriculum. And so I was really excited to do this pilot to try to use the Chromebooks, in every class and go towards use essentially a one-to-one model
Right.
in the classroom for that. However, what I've encountered is that you guys don't have enough resources or any resources beyond the Learn Zillion videos for the objectives I'm trying to teach. And when Ellen did our first check-in, I emailed her my unit plan and said, I've done some investigation. I've only been able to find Learn Zillion videos. I haven't found any activities or any pre-post assessments for the objectives I'm teaching. Um, and then sent her the unit plan, and then she emailed me back with like some links to some activities, but they weren't the objectives I'm teaching. So
I got you.
currently, like what the unit started off with, adding, subtracting, multiplying polynomials,
Yeah.
and we're now moving into multiplying binomials and then trinomials, and then off the top of my head, I can't think of what's next. I think solving systems of equations maybe is what we're moving into next. But I loved the concept of this.
Right.
And I had all the kids created their username, their password. They were all really excited. They were going to get to use Chromebooks every morning.
Right.
But yes, implementation-wise, I just haven't found it to be effective.
Yeah, you just don't have the content. Now, what grade are you in?
I teach 7th and 8th, but
Okay.
this math intervention it's the highest group. So our school is K-8. So
Okay.
it's the highest level. So
Okay.
these objectives are like 8th grade and high school objectives.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So I'm sure you probably already covered this with Ellen, but the company is kind of in getting started mode, and so we're furiously developing content, and we're in the process of releasing a lesson builder so that teachers all over that are using the Core Learning Exchange can build their own content. So it is something, a work in progress at this stage, but we certainly appreciate your time and enthusiasm, and hopefully, this time next year we'll be in a very different position. But if you would, Julie, can you tell me? So you've been in here before. In terms of the interface, the content aside, I get that the content's not where it needs to be for it to be valuable for you right now. But as you look at the interface here, is there anything about it that's annoying or unclear to you?
Yeah, so I will say when you go to the curriculum, and I typed in, like when I was looking for stuff, so like, for example, let's see, when I was doing, I don't think you guys touching on this, but like polynomial, okay, so like nothing, oh wait, well, it's better, but like it will come up, like the resources you have, okay, well maybe you don't have any of that. Well, okay, let's say like for some standard math topic, okay, so I can say add standard now, and then it will pull up your resources. Oh, okay, here. So, okay, so I don't know if you just don't have resources for this topic, or if it just doesn't pull them up. Because I've encountered stuff before. Like I was doing some search stuff, and then when I was actually telling our master teacher, who is the one in charge of the curriculum, I like had to make a presentation to her before I wanted to start using that.
Right.
And I have been able to find resources using that format that I just tried with you,
Yeah.
and it pulled stuff up. And then when I went in to meet with her to pull up, it like pulled up whatever the first thing I searched for was, and then when I went back to try to pull up other information,
Right.
it wouldn't, like it was showing the same results from that first search.
I gotcha.
So like didn't update.
Yeah, so it sounds like the search is broken for you. Can you go ahead and just delete that where it says polynomials at top in the search? Can you delete that just to see how it behaves?
Yeah, okay, so here. So yeah, and then this is another thing I noticed, and maybe I need to do with advanced search options.
Right.
But it didn't, yeah, so I don't think this is an option, but if you notice it pulls up all this stuff in Spanish.
Right.
And I haven't been able to find a way to filter for like just English.
Right.
Topic.
Yeah.
And then also, like some of the stuff I favorite has been good, but there's not, like when you click into it, it gives the description and it like shows your alignment, but again, I haven't found that the alignment, like in theory, I guess I get why you're aligning the specific content to these objectives, but then when you go and you actually watch the video, I've noticed that it doesn't always align with those objectives, like in practicality.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's not necessarily accurate.
So yeah, so I would say like one of the things that was really exciting about using this interface was the fact that I thought it was going to significantly cut down on my planning time, because I mean I'm very familiar with LearnZillion and I've used it a lot, but even like the LearnZillion website, I don't feel like it's organized in the most helpful way, and you have to do a lot of poking and prodding and then also previewing the videos beforehand. And so I was really excited thinking, okay, well if I'm teaching this objective, I know I'm going to go over to this topic and it's going to give me the resources, and then I'm going to be able to assign them to the students, and
Right.
that will be that.
Right.
And I found that
Not
not
good.
any more user-friendly than LearnZillion, and you still have to take the time to watch the videos
Right.
and to see with your different search terms what aligns with what, and you can't just succinctly assign, okay, they're going to watch this video, then they're going to delete these practice problems, and that will be our day.
Right. Gotcha.
I mean, from a teacher's perspective, especially, so I teach 6 different classes a day.
Okay.
So from a planning perspective, yeah, it's a lot. But from a planning perspective, like that's obviously what eats up most of my time, and that the less time you have to plan or the more organized your planning can be, then the more time it gives you to actually analyze and look at the students' work and see, what they're getting, what they're not getting, what you need to reteach. So from a teacher's perspective, I think that that's the one thing that is really, in terms of like looking at a curriculum, aside from the actual content, is the way it is organized and how much additional planning and prep you have to do in order for it to be student friendly and maximize students' time.
Gotcha. Okay, that's great. Yeah, terrific feedback. Yep. And the promise of this platform is that over time, as we add relevant content for every subject and every level, and more and more people use it, then we can get more precise and clever, I think, with the alignment. But to your point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Another suggestion I have for you guys is you could even do like model units. So like, okay, you're teaching, this objective. This is the sequence of events you should do. You should introduce using this video. Then you should move on to this activity, or have them take pre-assessment, then show this video, then do this activity, then show these 2 additional videos if you need to reteach. Because when I watched through the demo, they showed me some sort of dashboard that was the result of a pre-assessment. And then from that pre-assessment was like, student A has mastered this objective. So they're going to be working on this advanced activity. Then student B, C, and D, are kind of familiar with this, but definitely need more work. So they're going to be assigned like whatever that objective was. And then student F has no idea what he was doing. So we're going to backtrack on him and put him into some other stuff to increase his background knowledge before he starts on this objective.
Right.
So that differentiated model, which again, I also have classes of 32. So it's a lot of students who, especially by the time you get to 7th and 8th grade, are at very different levels as far as math content. So that was also something really exciting because currently in my classroom, I do small groups every day to help with, I have one group that's like lower level kids that need that remedial background stuff, and then another group that's the advanced kids that are like bored sitting through our normal lessons.
Right.
So that was the other thing that was really exciting, was that then everyone at the same time could be exactly on point with where they needed to be.
Right.
But again, like I said, in my experience, I haven't found that to be effective in implementation, or I haven't even found an assessment to give them on what I'm currently teaching that will tell me where the students are at.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, and I think that's a function of just not having enough content, and obviously we need to work on the search and the alignment for it to be useful.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And like I said, back to my original point that I was saying, if you could have, like model units to show teachers, I think that would be extremely helpful. Because again, I think the biggest burden as a teacher that's not necessarily a value add activity is that planning. Like, you want to make sure you have effective lessons, but you can plan until you're blue in the face, and if they aren't implemented effectively, then the kids aren't going to be learning. So the more time you have to analyze student work and student data, and then decide where the students need to go from there, and the less time you have blindly planning before you start something, right, is extremely helpful. So if you had like a model unit, like you should start here, you should do this, and then after you do this activity, then you can start differentiating, right, would be amazing.
That's terrific feedback. Thank you. That's really great. Okay. Any other feedback, related, I guess, to this page that we're on right now?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I will say the videos that I've watched and like the activities I've like blindly clicked through, yeah, all of that seems to be functioning fine. And when the kids, like, I've only used it so I had the kids log on one day, make their usernames, make their passwords. Ooh, something else that would be really helpful, and this might be, again, because I have, older students and they're at that age where they want to be able to create their own stuff. If you could have like a link that gives you, I made them also use the same password, but as far as username, I let them create their own username. But I had to have them write it down on a post-it and give it to me. So if there's a way for, as students create their login, for the teacher to see, okay, these are all the student logins, these are all the passwords they created, so you have that master copy, because we all know that kids don't remember things from day to day, and like at that age especially, like to make their passwords and usernames super creative that have nothing to do with anything. So when they come in, they're like, maybe it was a One Direction song, I don't know.
Right.
So that would be really helpful too.
Great. Okay, terrific. That's super feedback. Okay. Anything else? So nothing else on this page. In classrooms, the classrooms tab on the left, is that anything on that tab?
Yeah, that I feel like was fine. Again, when they had them set everything up, it was super easy, and it was 100% real time as soon as they logged in and they did set up. It was really easy for me to just go back to my computer and like click, accept, or add to class, whatever. I forget what you had to do, but whatever you had to do. And so they were all minutes, able to, in the span of like a few minutes, they were able to all get in that class with the class code that I assigned. So that was extremely seamless, and we didn't have any technical issues getting everyone signed up and enrolled in the proper class.
Okay, great. When you click on one of the individual students, I guess the eye there, any feedback on the information that's shared there? I guess you're not really seeing a full.
Yeah. Again, I haven't clicked this as a resume. I'm clicking on these students again because, like I said, I had them watch the video, and that's all I had them do.
Sure.
So yeah, it's great to see that they've used the video.
Right.
I'm sure this would be more useful if I had assigned them an actual assignment, and then I could see the results on that.
Right.
But from first glance, it seems pretty legit.
Okay. Is there anything that you've seen so far that you feel like, boy, this company just really ought, besides the things that you've mentioned, that the company really ought to focus on improving, making it easier for you, making it more enjoyable for you, less hassle? You've mentioned a lot of really valuable things, but is there anything else that comes to mind?
No, I feel like I've mentioned everything. Again, just having, like I said, like more of like a unit outline, a curriculum roadmap, something that says, okay, you're teaching these objectives, this is where you should start. Because yes, those search terms are helpful, and it's helpful for if I was doing, like a reteach or a one-off, I know this student really needs more help with, linear equations, then that's great to be able to go there and see all of your resources. But again, when trying to teach in a whole class setting, it would be so beneficial if you could say, like, you should assign this person, you should assign this, instead of just seeing all these videos, which again, just by the titles,
right,
you can't, you have to watch the videos to determine, okay, is this really what I'm trying to teach or is it not?
Yeah, I gotcha. So a bit more intelligence is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Julie, again, can't thank you enough, both for your flexibility, and this is just phenomenal feedback, which is going to be going directly to the developers, as soon as we're done here. Would it be all right? We're going to get you that gift certificate in the mail right away for $20 because you've been so patient. But would it be all right if we circle back with you in a few weeks just to kind of update you on changes?
Yeah, like I said, I would definitely be interested in continuing to keep in touch with you guys as you continue to develop this product, because I think the platform in theory seems great, and the demo that Jeremy Jeffrey, who's the main guy?
Yep,
Jeffrey. Yeah, that he showed me initially seemed great. I just wish that there was currently the content to be able to implement that in the classroom. So yeah, I'm definitely here as a sounding board and would love to continue to help you guys out.
Okay, awesome. Terrific. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we'll be in touch real soon.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Have a great night.
Okay, thanks, Paul.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.